Hello world! Apex Legends just dropped their new trailer for the Chaos Theory Collection event. And there's quite a lot to dig into here, so let's jump right in and see what Gas Daddy Caustic has in store for us.
In the end, the strong will filter out the weak.
Pretty standard. New crypto skin,
Death
new caustic skin.
is measured by suffering.
Promising. Okay, we got the actual location itself. Bangalore Heirloom. Looks pretty cool actually. Ring Fury. Mad Maggie, new mode. Cool. Yeah, the treatment center itself. Corpses. Some fresh new digs. Overdramatic button punch. And the super toxin. Just lets crypto die. Bat.
This was an inevitable outcome.
I love that music punch at the end.
You don't deserve to die. You overvalue your place in the world.
Bit of Wattson there as well. Interesting. Okay, let's jump back through that. There's a lot to dig into here. So, possibly? No, that's possibly a new Gibby skin. Zed, new crypto skin. Caustic skin. There's two, like, chromas of these as well that we see towards the end. Caustic treatment itself. I like that they've raised these. It makes getting in and out a lot easier. This little crane thing down here. Maybe there's, like, zip lines up and over. I like how they've sort of refined this, what was like a set of sort of really sporadic buildings. Might be a little harder to get in and out, but I like that they've sort of updated the visual style. Everything feels cleaner and smoother and just a bit nicer, to be honest. It doesn't look as murky as it used to. And yeah, this building with the ramps, a few little access points, sort of consolidating everything that was here into this one sort of refined building here. Nice overall change. This smog cloud might not be. We'll see more on that.
Nothing like cold steel on a hot day.
Bangalore Heirloom. Kind of gutted that it's just a knife, although it does have its own nice distinction, sort of like semi-bowie knife, semi-machete, and sort of plasma edging sort of going on here. The animations look really snappy for her as well, that I think is going to really sort of do this justice. It was a good idea for them to change from what I think they were originally going with. Like, it's a really cool thing of them to do, to sort of adapt to real-world circumstances, especially for a character like Bangalore. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Bangalore's Heirloom looks pretty fucking cool. I love this sort of running past Caustic and he just stands there like, yes, go, kill them. Slice, yeah. Yeah, looks really good. Really like it. Ring Fury, Mad Maggie getting involved. So yeah, this is more what Maggie was actually trying to do to have an impact on the games herself. She's apparently sabotaged the ring. So I was thinking her like dropping napalm zones or releasing prowlers. This is a way cooler way for her to execute on actually like messing with the games themselves. She's actually gotten access to the ring. And this looks like it's going to be sort of like a secondary sort of placement. You'll have the big ring on the outside that's pinching inwards, and then you'll get this secondary zone that's forcing its way outwards. So you've got this sort of like converging two rings to mess with. That'll really like change how you sort of play around the game. I think this could be a really interesting change. And from a lore perspective, it's really interesting in that Wattson is going to have a bit of an issue with this. Messing with like her crowning work, the thing that she sort of remembers her dad for, not the only thing obviously, but yeah, as they showed Wattson at the end, like she's not only going to have issue with what Caustic is doing down south, but she's going to be taking issue with what Maggie's doing here as well. The second round of comics could end up including a lot more characters than the first set of comics was sort of building us up with the three of Bloodhound, Fuse, and Lifeline. This could see Wattson getting involved if Caustic's treatment plant doesn't get her involved as well. Cool change. I like this. Not just that they're, improving on the mechanics of how the game as a whole works, but they're actually trying to tie it into the ongoing story as well. Awesome change. Heat shield allow you to sort of cope with these extra rings. Hey, there could be more than one, right? There could be not just this. Maybe there's even like a transmitter that you have to find that you can destroy that will then stop this second ring forcing its way outwards. Who knows? It does seem to like just beam down from the sky, so probably not. But yeah, having this heat shield just allows you to cope with the extra rings, especially if they cross over each other or something. That'd be pretty nasty. Caustic treatment itself. Yeah, that's from the backside. Yeah, again, I like that they've raised these. There's a lot more sort of active cover going in and out of treatment. I like that they've just sort of cemented over the ground. It just feels a lot sort of a nicer area to be in, maybe aside from the giant cloud, which isn't here right now. I wonder if that's a thing that the more it's used, the more it pumps gas into the atmosphere. So I wonder if how much we actually use this will impact how the story changes from here, because as I keep saying, I don't think this is the end of it. And we get to see from the outside. Nice open spaces we were used to on this sort of coastal edge. Not as many ways in. So yeah, this seems like it's going to be a bit of a harder sort of area to bust into than the old water treatment, which maybe isn't as good. Like that we got the dropship out here and stuff. But yeah, maybe some more doors along here could be a better way to sort of get people more invested in getting in, right? Got these ramps on the side that can lead you in as well. And yeah, the smog. I do wonder if this is actually going to cause a change over time, because we just got the new lighting for Kings Canyon. Everything felt so fresh, and even with the explosion up the top. If the more we use this, the more smog gets put into the atmosphere. I hope that people don't go here that much, which is kind of a shame, right, for a new town takeover, that you kind of don't want people using it. That's a really weird sort of way to think about it. They probably won't go that way, because it'll just discourage people from using it, right? And then we have inside. You get to see what loot you get available, which is nice. It looks like the toxin only goes so high. So it's not like gas, it's a liquid, and especially if it doesn't fill like the full thing, then it does mean that you're only really at risk when you jump in. But I wonder how much damage this will do, or it does seem that it will do damage, but I wonder, again, if this will change over time, because this is only getting introduced to us now as part of an evolving story. So I don't think this is the end of it. Like, what we get shown now could well develop, especially alongside the second round of comics, to actually, like, have a different effect by the end of the season. This is a pretty standard way for us to execute on it now. Yeah, Caustic and Super Toxin. It's going to hurt you to get stuff. And that's a good risk-reward mechanic to have implemented in a location, right? Especially as you can see what you're going to get. You know what to make the decision over. And it also has this sort of risk of getting booped off into the edge, so you just take damage. Like, positioning is going to be really key here, especially for the control rooms and stuff as well. So it's set out pretty nicely as it is, but again, this ever-changing story I think is going to have an impact here. Yeah, corpses in the biohazard sample. I think keeping an eye on these as the season progresses could give you some indication of what's going to happen and what the toxin actually does. Because if it's just the same sort of toxin, it's just super corrosive. You know, we get a skeleton like a few weeks in, which, you know, really tells us what it's going to do. But I don't know, I have this weird feeling it's going to have a different effect, like stimulating like growth, like biological growth. So if you could introduce it into the Kings Canyon ecosystem, it could actually have a positive effect on the flora and fauna, which would then suggest the same sort of thing for somewhere like World's Edge that is in an even worse state. Keep an eye on these corpses, because I think they'll change to represent how the toxin could evolve over time, to sort of show how it's going to impact that second round of comics, or how the second round of comics impacts what happens with Caustic. Again, I mentioned in my last video that Maggie could target this place to blow it up, to actually spread the toxin everywhere, but then you've just built a town takeover to blow it up, which I don't think they're going to do so soon. Is there anything in this still here? Just got the control rooms. It's vile. Yeah, as he's testing, this is only early stages. I think this is going to change. How exactly? Not sure. But, yeah, this is not exactly how it's going to end up by the end of the season. Cosmetics. Very striking orange Gibby. And the teeth detailing. Okay, I like that. Recolor of the crypto one from the beginning. The mustache definitely changes like the shape of his face. It wasn't instantly recognizable as him like first time round. But yeah, not a bad coloration here. I think I prefer the one from the opening, the darker one. This Loba skin looks like it's going to be fucking awesome. Rampart one. Yeah, nice color contrast, some teething. Sort of, I think this whole Warlord sort of thing. The skull on the top they got going on. Can we get a better shot of Loba? Because this one looks really good. Yeah, this skin looks awesome. Gladiator sort of helmet and really nice sort of like bronze and green coloring. Yeah, this skin looks pretty damn sweet. Rampart one looks nice. And I think this is another Bangalore one here. I'm not sure exactly who that is.
Death awaits.
Love that overdramatic smash. How they've like directed and worked on these sort of gameplay trailers, especially this one, like, and the music they've used for this, the shot composition they've gone with, like, they've really like gone all out in making this feel like an experience. Like, they've built up Caustic to feel like this really ominous, overhanging shadow that's coming to cause some damage to King's Canyon. Yeah, I really like how they've gone with this. Like, they build on it even more from here. When you get the Toxin, and yeah, it does only seem to fill up to a certain point. Got the control rooms up here. Maybe like activation panels here that to get in, so it's not as much of a risk as it looks. Maybe it'll slow you down. Is this a different Horizon skin? I hadn't seen this sort of hologram detailing on it before. It looks like the one from last season. Interesting. But yeah, I love this bit. How they cut out all the music, you just get the breathing and really atmospheric. Fucking hammer time.
Was an inevitable outcome.
And it feels so very Caustic. Love it. And then we get this lovely Wattson skin here. Really cool combination of like old school sort of like chainmail and a warrior's helmet mixed with this almost like much more pseudo modern detailing on her pylons, and the fabric here actually does sort of look like an old sort of like Musketeer sort of thing. That's pretty cool, but it ends up looking really sci-fi when you get into the detailing here. That is a very strong skin. I like. Little bit of the haute couture from last season, but this sort of armor detail. Yeah. That's really cool. I like that. Purple sort of Bangalore skin. She seems to get a lot of epics. Nothing like too standout or special. This has got this red one as well. I think she has what looked like a sort of a turquoise one around here somewhere. I can't remember where it was now. But yeah, she seems to get this purple one as well. Not bad. Maybe there's some more detail on the face we haven't seen. Nothing too promising. She just got two really, really good skins, so not too big a deal. That Revenant skin. Look at that. Damn! Yeah, that looks cool as hell. Face detailing. It was like Arcane sort of. Feels like something out of Devil May Cry or something. Like one of the bosses or Bayonetta or some shit like that. Yeah, he looks like the sort of proper actual sort of angel sort of motif. The eyes and the faces everywhere. That's creepy as hell. I like that skin. That is really good. Doesn't look anything too special for Wraith there. Don't know if that's new. Possibly a new Fuse skin. Yeah, the arm detailing possibly new. Not overly sure. I prefer the colour of this early one. Yeah, that's a much better coloration for me. The dark hat looks a lot better. But yeah, cool design overall. I like the monocle. This collection event looks really promising, man.
Don't deserve to die.
I love that they're incorporating the story.
Place in the world.
As I've mentioned, yeah, I really like that they're incorporating elements of the story into actually like framing this collection event. Like most of the others have been, it's just a zone that the legends bought or that's representative of them. No, nothing too big a deal. Like, you do have things like elements of lore through Bloodhound's trials and the audio messages left by Mirage, but this having an actual story playing alongside it to give it some sort of context and framing, And the fact that you've got Mad Maggie actually sort of interjecting at the same time, that you've got these two sort of opposing forces that could actually be converging to the same, like, outcome. Caustic and Maggie could both be causing a lot of trouble for the games. That's such a cool way to actually execute on this sort of thing. Like, this feels like it can grow from here. As I said, this is just its first iteration. There is testing to be done on the Toxin. This isn't the iteration of caustic treatment that I think we're going to end up with by, like, the end of the season. How it will tie into the comics, whether it's before, whether something changes sort of during the second run of comics or after it, not sure. The Ring Fury thing can obviously play into things as well. Again, you have these two forces possibly changing King's Canyon for the worse on these quite big scales. Like I said, we could have the smog sort of going into the sky, and whether Maggie manages to keep up this sort of intervention in the games. Something I do think is kind of interesting, I just spotted here, I think like this device might have also been created by Wattson. I think it was teased in her, like, messy desk promo image, like, ages ago, so they've been thinking about this for a while, it seems. Pretty damn interesting. And yeah, it makes sense for her to make something that's sort of counter to the Ring. We've had, like, how she made the Ring explained through Pathfinder's Quest, so nice little just sort of extra development on that. And as I brought them up, and as they brought themselves up right at the beginning, Crypto and Caustic do now have the information from Pathfinder's Quest that they're probably both stepbrothers. So I think you can expect to see, again, more changes coming out of caustic treatment. Yeah, how much impact Maggie ends up having on the Ring itself could sort of impact how she goes forward, whether caustic treatment ends up causing, like, ecological damage, or whether it ends up producing something new out of the Toxin that becomes valuable to other people for other reasons. Could develop out from there. Again, Maggie could just blow this place up, maybe next season, give it a bit of time to settle in. But that's a change that you can make with this place. Keep an eye on the corpses, because I think they'll give you a kind of indication of the kind of change that we could expect to see the Toxin go through. And yeah, maybe the more that we use this, the more information he has, or the more smog that gets released into the atmosphere, and the more that we actually change King's Canyon. How much impact this place ends up having could actually be really distinct. I think this is a really, really cool way to have executed on a town takeover, especially because it's being framed by such, like, distinct story angles. Again, Mad Maggie backing him up, so we've got this sort of A and B plot going on right now. Apex Legends proving once again that they do know pretty well how to sort of frame their in-game events to feel more actually tangible and impactful through elements of story and character. Because yes, I think we're going to be seeing more of Wattson in the second lot of comics. Again, we could be seeing some of Crypto as well, as Maggie is messing with the Ring and Caustic is being very overtly malicious and ominous, etc., more so than usual even. Yeah, I think that this is a time to really have Wattson actually sort of speak out, and even since, like, Crypto told Wattson his name, she's obviously been more overtly unaccepting of Caustic, but I think that this gives her more of an excuse to actually prompt some sort of actual, like, understanding out of him. This is a point where she's like, no, now you and Mad Maggie are doing stuff that I actually just can't forgive. I get that you and Crypto have beef. I get that you don't want to tell me about your past. I get that you value science maybe to the extreme, but I think that you might be doing it for benevolent reasons. Like, Wattson seems to have this understanding of Caustic that he's not as terrible as he seems, but he's kind of giving her a lot of evidence to doubt that sort of idea at present, right? So yeah, I think we're going to be seeing more of Wattson as this season goes on, more of Crypto, and evidently Caustic is going to be having much bigger impact than it might have seemed from earlier in the season. Mad Maggie is evidently, like, really stepping up her game as well. How much she can mess with the games going forward remains to be seen. Whether she's going to be playing even more with the Ring to again bring some more of Wattson into things, there's more of this season to be going, but again, they have said that they want to tell an evolving story through this season. So, expect change. Which I think is really fucking cool. I think it's a really, really cool way for them to have executed on this. That is more than enough out of me. I have rabbited on far too long enough about the Chaos Theory event. I hope you think it looks as promising as I do, and that you're as psyched as I am for it, because that's all out of me. Thank you for staying with me, friends. I've been Euclidean Vision, the emotional support. Take care of yourselves out there, teammates, and may the glorious light of Best Girl shine within you. Bye-bye.